Welcome to a profound exploration of the universal themes of death, funeral processes, and the spiritual messages that guide us through the journey of life. Discover the rich tapestry of beliefs that shape how we honor the departed and find solace in the messages of hope and faith that resonate across all faith traditions. Join us as we delve into the diverse funeral practices of different religions, from the solemn ceremonies of Christianity to the peaceful rituals of Buddhism. Islam. In Islam, it is customary to bury the deceased as soon as possible, ideally within 24 hours after death. Time frame. Burial is typically performed within 24 hours after death. Rituals. The body is washed, ghusl, and wrapped in a simple white shroud, kafan. A prayer, Salat al-Janazah, is offered before burial, usually in a graveyard. Christianity. In many Christian traditions, burial usually takes place within a few days after death. The timing may vary depending on local customs, religious practices. Catholicism. Time frame. Funerals are usually held within a week. Rituals. The body may be embalmed and placed in a coffin. A mass is often celebrated, followed by burial in a cemetery with prayers and rituals that emphasize resurrection. Protestantism. Time frame. Varied. Many denominations prefer burial within a week or less. Rituals. Services can vary widely. Some emphasize a simple memorial service, while others may include traditional burial with readings from the Bible. Orthodox. Time frame. Burial is typically done within 3 days. Rituals. The deceased is washed and dressed in a simple shroud. A vigil is held, followed by a funeral service and burial in a cemetery. Judaism. In Jewish tradition, burial typically takes place as soon as possible after death, ideally within 24 hours. Orthodox. Time frame. Burial is performed as soon as possible, often within 24 hours. Rituals. The body is washed, tahara, and dressed in a simple white shroud, takrakim. A prayer service, minyan, is held, and the grave is filled with earth. Conservative. Time frame. Similar to Orthodox, but may allow for delays in certain situations. Rituals. Follows many traditional practices, including tahara, but may incorporate more modern elements. Reform. Time frame. Timing can be more flexible, allowing for cremation or burial within a week. Rituals. Services may be less formal, and can include a mix of Jewish and secular elements. Hinduism. In Hinduism, there is a belief in the importance of cremation as soon as possible after death, ideally within 24 hours. Shaivism. Time frame. Cremation is performed within 24 hours. Rituals. The body is bathed, dressed in simple clothes, and placed on a pyre. Family members perform rites to honor the deceased and facilitate the soul's journey. Shaktism. Time frame. Also favors cremation within 24 hours. Rituals. Emphasizes honoring the goddess through specific rites performed during and after cremation. Vaishnavism. Time frame. Similar cremation practices within 24 hours. Rituals. Often include specific prayers and rituals dedicated to Vishnu or Krishna to ensure a favorable afterlife. Buddhism. In Buddhism, the timing of burial or cremation may vary depending on cultural traditions and local customs. Theravada. Time frame. Cremation is common, typically within a week. Rituals. The body is often displayed for mourners, with chanting and prayers to aid the deceased on their journey to rebirth. Mahayana time frame. Practices vary, allowing for both cremation and burial. Rituals may include elaborate ceremonies and rituals focused on compassion and the Bodhisattva ideal. Vajrayana time frame. Cremation is common, often within a week. Rituals involve specific Tibetan rituals, including chanting and offerings to assist in the soul's journey. In Sikhism, cremation is the predominant practice for handling the deceased. While there may be some variations in specific communities, the emphasis is generally on cremation rather than burial. Key points. Cremation. This is the standard practice, reflecting the belief that the soul is eternal and the body is a temporary vessel. Burial. While not common, some Sikhs might choose burial, especially in regions where cremation is not feasible, but this is less frequent. Overall, cremation is the primary method of disposing of the body in Sikh tradition. Khalsa time frame. Generally cremated within 24 hours. Rituals. The body is taken to the Gurdwara for prayers, curtain, before cremation. The ceremony emphasizes the spiritual nature of life and death. Namdhari time frame. Similar preference for cremation. Rituals emphasizes simplicity and spiritual devotion during the funeral rites. Other religions. Bahá'í Faith time frame. Burial is performed typically within 24 hours. Rituals. The body is buried in a simple grave, with a focus on humility and respect for the deceased. Zoroastrianism time frame. Generally burial occurs quickly, but bodies are placed in towers of silence for exposure. Rituals. This practice reflects their belief in purity and avoidance of contaminating the earth. Family members may conduct rituals during and after the exposure. Native American traditions. Time frame varies widely among tribes. Rituals. Practices can include both burial and cremation, often accompanied by ceremonies that honor the spirit of the deceased, reflecting a deep connection to nature and ancestors. Shinto time frame generally within a week. Rituals. The body is often buried with rituals that include purification ceremonies and offerings to the kami, spirits, emphasizing the connection between the deceased and the living. These practices illustrate the rich diversity of beliefs and customs surrounding burial across different sects within major religions, reflecting their unique cultural and spiritual values. Overall, the timing of burial or cremation after death is influenced by a combination of religious beliefs. God message. 1. Islam. Message. Indeed, to Allah we belong and to Him we shall return. Quran 2:156. Context. This verse emphasizes the belief in the afterlife and the importance of promptly burying the deceased, reflecting respect for the cycle of life and death. Christianity. Message. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew 5:4. Context. This teaching highlights the importance of mourning and the hope of eternal life, providing comfort to the grieving during funerals. Judaism. Message. You shall not abandon him. Deuteronomy 21:23. Context. This principle underscores the importance of honoring the deceased through proper burial and the practice of sitting Shiva, Mourner's Week, to support the grieving family. Hinduism. Message. Death is not the end, but a transition to a new state of existence. Context. The practice of cremation is rooted in the belief that the soul is immortal and that the body is merely a vessel, encouraging families to honor their loved ones through rituals that aid in the soul's journey. Buddhism. Message. All things are impermanent, When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. Context: this teaching reflects the acceptance of death as a natural part of life, guiding rituals that focus on mindfulness and compassionate remembrance of the deceased. Sikhism. Message: the soul is eternal. It is neither born nor does it die. Context: Sikhs believe in the continuation of the soul after death, and the funeral rites emphasize the celebration of life and the soul's journey, often including prayers and communal gatherings. Zoroastrianism. Message: the body is a temporary vessel, and the soul is eternal. Context: Zoroastrians traditionally placed the deceased in towers of silence for exposure, reflecting their belief in purity and the importance of returning the body to nature without contaminating the earth. Baha'i faith. Message: death is a new beginning. Context: Baha'is believe in the continued existence of the soul after death, and burial practices emphasize simplicity and respect, often accompanied by prayers for the deceased. Indigenous spiritualities. Message: the spirit lives on in the natural world. Context: many indigenous traditions emphasize the connection between the deceased and nature, often incorporating rituals that honor the spirit's journey and maintain ties to the earth. Shinto. Message: the spirit of the deceased joins the kami. Context: Shinto funerals involve purification rituals, acknowledging the transition of the spirit and maintaining a harmonious relationship with ancestors and nature. As we reach the end of our journey through the sacred practices of funeral rites and the profound messages of God in different religions, let us carry with us the wisdom of unity in diversity. In the face of death, we find a shared humanity that transcends religious boundaries, offering comfort, compassion, and a reminder of the eternal spirit within us all. May these reflections on death, funeral processes, and the divine messages of today inspire us to live with gratitude, love, and an understanding of the sacredness of life. Thank you for watching. Kindly subscribe my channel